Excellent. Okay, and you can look right over here at me. The hardest question is always first. Can I just have your first, your last name? Say it, spell it, so I don't mess any of that stuff up.
Yes, Jim Forcier, Jimforcier.
Excellent. And what is your official title here? What do you do?
I'm the CEO of Chazy Westport Communications and West Telecom Communications.
Wonderful. Worked hard for it, so definitely want to make sure we get that in there. So I guess just for someone who's unfamiliar with your company, can you just kind of explain to me what it is you guys do here?
Well, we're a communications company. We supply dial tone, long distance broadband, internet to customers in our franchise territory here in Westport and Wadhams, also in Chazy, West Chazy, in Scioto, up north of Plattsburgh. Our subsidiary actually is a competitive telephone company in Verizon's territory, and we supply primarily just businesses with phone service, communications of all kinds, high-speed internet, Ethernet, all that sort of thing.
So that's definitely one of the reasons why we're here chatting with you today is you understand the importance of high-speed internet. Why is it so important to have that around here, and it's not always common for people?
Yes, we found, we've had high-speed internet in our franchise territory for a number of years, but it was always through the phone lines, and even though people could get 10 megs or so off their landline telephones, we found that it just isn't enough in today's world with all the video streaming, with the pictures downloading and that sort of thing. It's even more critical for businesses. They just need to have that bandwidth.
And I was speaking with your daughter earlier, and that's something that you've been working on since, I believe she said 2010, to get businesses and people those high-speed internets, and you just got a grant to help you with that. So why don't you talk to me a little bit about the grant?
That's right. Yes, we got a grant from New York State. It's a $3.5 million project. We are the ones that are putting in a little over $700,000. And the state is contributing $2.8 million to this project to bring fiber to the home in areas that it would take us another 10 or 20 years to get fiber. Some of the roads that we are fibering today is like 1 or 2 houses per mile. So it's incredibly lucky and foresight for the broadband office in New York State to give us these dollars, because you cannot make it economically feasible, out in the rural areas.
Perfect. Help you.
They have been looking at broadband and how to get broadband out to the rural areas for actually quite a few years, and finally they realized that if you really want to get broadband out, you've got to, first of all, incent people with grants. Second of all, it needs to be with the local providers because they're already providing service, so it makes more sense to do that, and that's exactly what the state did. In Governor Cuomo, he established a broadband office, and there's this application fee. An application, it's a big application, but we took the time to go through it, and we were awarded the grant. So, which was great for our customers, great for the company, and great for the state.
Absolutely. This might be a stupid question, so I'm sorry, but how long does it take to do a project like this, to get that fiber? Because I know you've been working on it for years, but I know it's been in a large quantity of locations.
The grant started 2 years ago to complete the grant, and it was completed on time, December 31st, of 2018. And so we were in under the gun. We put in those 2 years, we put in about 115 miles of fiber. And that was just in the grant, not talking about fiber that we've put in other than just the grant.
Mm-hmm.
So we've been busy the last couple of years.
I can only imagine. So, I mean, obviously, having a company like this, are you happy to see a governor and your senators and everything kind of pushing to make sure that you get the money you need to bring this because they see it's important to have? Absolutely.
I've got great relationships with all my assembly folks and senators, and it's just absolutely critical for the state. And I think that everybody gets it. It's still a matter of it's money. It's all a matter of money because telecommunications is very highly capital intensive. It takes a lot of money, and you're stringing up lines and setting poles and all that sort of thing. And the payback, it could be 20 years before you actually get that money back. So with the grant incentives, it makes it more feasible for us to be able to get a project done and get broadband out into the rural areas.
So where do we go from here? You're just going to keep doing your thing? Where do we go?
Well, yes, we actually have places that are more populated that we don't have fiber to the home. We still have the broadband, through the phone lines, but not fiber to the home. And because of getting fiber in these places that are out in the middle of nowhere, we're still going to continue to, over the course of the next 2, 3, 4 years, make sure that we've got fiber to the home to every customer in our territory.
Perfect. Now, is it you're done, the grant ended, there's no more, you're going to keep applying, or is it just that was one part of the grant that's done?
Well, I'd like to hope that there is, another round of grant monies that could help us. I think that, there is some talk of it. I know that there are a lot of places in the North Country that still do not have broadband. And it's unfortunate, and it's going to be a have or have not. People are going to actually start moving or continue to move into Westport because we do have fiber to the home, as opposed to many of the places in the North Country that don't have it, and unless there's another grant out there someplace, may never have it.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's also Westport's pretty cool, right?
Westport's pretty cool.
Perfect. Okay, and then one thing I noticed as soon as I walked in your door I thought was really cool is the rural is cool. What does that mean?
One of the things that we're trying to impress, and my daughter Deirdre, her boss Krista Boulay, is the lifestyle that we have here is wonderful, okay? But can you afford to live here, and can you afford to work from here? Well, with the broadband, we can allow people to work. We've got many people that have extended, second homes and stay up here actually most of the time and can work from up here as opposed to being down in the city or wherever their business is located. So rural is cool, and we want people to come up here and just be able to take advantage of our lifestyle and still make a living.
Love that. I love that so much. Is there anything else you want to add? Maybe you think I didn't ask, is something that's important that we just make sure we incorporate into the story?
I don't think so. I think you've pretty much covered it. It's just it's interesting, the evolution from, if you look behind me, you'll see in our little museum here, my grandfather's hooks and belt back in the 20s and 30s, and all the old cord boards, that what a progression that we have made over the past 100 years as far as technology goes.
It's insane. I know I love this museum. I'm definitely going to be grabbing a lot of video of it. It's so cool. It is an ever changing. I mean, technology is changing just so fast too.
Oh, it is. It's so hard to keep up with. I've got some of the best folks that you could imagine in our technology departments, in our whole company for that matter. But that used to, when I first graduated from college and came to work up here, there wasn't anything I didn't know as far as the central office goes, as far as electronics, the cabling and all that sort of thing. Now I look at it and I go, okay, guys and gals, this is yours. You know, I don't understand it at all anymore. So
I know.
it's quite a change.